Hello everyone. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm just inviting one. Somebody speak and say something because I see people coming in, but I don't know if you can hear me because it's look like I'm delayed. Okay, I see comments now. Hey, Labria. Hey, Miss Carolyn. Hey, Shauna. Hey, Dominique. Hey, sis. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm clear. Okay. Hi, guys. Hey, beautiful ladies. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. I want to start off by saying, like, I am so excited. I am so humble. Hey, Mama Wanda. Hey, Mama Wanda. I'm so excited just to have this opportunity to just, be here, to just let me be a part of Tears to Breakthrough, to just tell my story. I feel like Mama Carolyn is like my mom now. I know Mama Wanda has just taken me under her arm. I feel like I have so many moms now. And I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you. Thank you first to like God. I'm not like that holier than thou girl, but like I just want to say thank you for like that shift in my life that happened, to let for God to just show me that you are who you are. Don't be apologetic about who you are. Like I made you who you are, and that's it. Like you don't have to say you're sorry about who you are. Like you were made in my image, and I took my time to make you. I was careful about how I designed you. You were unique. You were unique. Like even when you thought you were different. And I noticed that like early on, even when I tried to fit in, he wouldn't really let me fit in. My friends wouldn't let me fit in. And, I'm just grateful. And I'm glad now that I know it was a reason why I didn't fit in for like such a time as this. Like, he prepared me for such a time as this. And I even realize now, like, the shift that has happened in my life, so much so that like I can't even be how I was before. I can't even hang around certain people. I can't even entertain certain stuff. Like it's like a instant that I know that certain things are not even right. Hey sis, hey Toya. Like I can't even like entertain craziness, like BS, like any of that. Like if somebody tells me something and it doesn't line up, like I'm out of there. Like I always knew that was kind of like my personality. I thought it was because I was a Gemini and I loved hard and I just went in, but now I understand it's because of how God just made me and how he designed me. And I'm just thankful for that. I'm thankful for the people that he put in my life that looks just like me, that talks just like me, that just loves just like me. And they don't care. Like they go give it to you blunt and real just like I do. And I appreciate that because I don't want to be that person to like just have to think or examine how you are. Like I just want you to just give it to me raw, real, and uncut. Hey sis, hey Samaria. And I just want you to give it to me raw and uncut. And just be like, hey, this is what it is. You either like it, love it, or leave it. And I appreciate that. So that's just who I am. You know, a lot of people know me as their little sis or big sis, and hey, she go tell you how it is, whether you like it or not, and that's just how it is. And I appreciate that. So I say all that to say, that I appreciate you, Miss Carolyn, for giving me the opportunity to share my story with this platform, and just the opportunity to meet you, and for Mama Wanda to listen, be able to listen to God and not waver in what he was telling you, for waking you up early one morning and telling you, hey, you need to put on this love conference and I'm going to send you the people, and you don't have to worry about anything, and just listening, because where he's taking us and what he's doing, like, is gonna blow your mind. And even what he's doing for me, individually, it's just been blowing my mind. I have to just sit sometime and hey, Miss Sharon, um it just blows my mind. So I just say that to say to always be encouraged, never give up, never give in, because the story that I am going to share with y'all, it's going to blow your mind. I probably if you look at my story, well, if you look at me, you probably would have thought, girl, you probably should have gave up a long time ago. I don't look like what I've been through, thank God, because, girl, I probably would have looked like a crud monster. I probably would have had crevices all in my face, but thank God I still look halfway decent. And I still don't look like any of what I've been through. And it's just the grace of God that he just preserved me. He protects me. He didn't take me through anything that he didn't know that I couldn't handle. And he made it to where I could handle it at that time. Miss Carolyn, somebody said, texting me saying they're trying to join, but they can't. I don't know what's going on. But I don't know. But so hey, I'm so glad that I don't look like what I've been through. So I'm gonna tell you, the people that set the love conference, they heard a little bit of the story, but I'm gonna tell y'all, I held back a whole lot. And I feel like the only reason I held back is because I'm respectful of people's time. I'm respectful of what people tell me. I follow instructions. So that's why I came on right at 7 o'clock. Like, I was typing, logging in at 7 o'clock. Because when somebody tells me to do something, I'm going to do it. If I'm stuck in traffic, or if I'm being somewhere and something happens, I'm calling them like way ahead of time to let them know, like, hey, I can't make it, something's going on, because I'm just mindful of other people's time and stuff that's going on. So when Mama Wanda said, hey, you only got 15 minutes, I only have 15 minutes. So I kind of just did what I have to do in 15 minutes. But at the same time, I let God use me during those 15 minutes. So I say all that to say, in my lifetime, I have been through some things. And at the conference, I talked about family love. And during that time, family is everything to me. That's like one of my non-negotiables. It's not about, sometimes family is not about like what you were born into biologically. It's, to me, family represents who supports you. So what that looks like is, in this season of your life, you may have to heal from your biological family, or you might not have biological family because you don't know who they are. You might have adopted family, and that's all you know, and that's good. And you might not have biological or adopted family that you can depend on. It may be your support system. Your support system may look like your friends, or your husband, or who, or people that you're really close to. But family is the people that support you. And if you don't have anybody that supports you, you need to do a self check. You need to do a self check and evaluate you, and to see what needs to be healed and what needs to be looked at in the inside. And like I said, this Wednesday on my prayer call is, God, what do I need to do to deal with myself? So I talked about family, and I remember growing up, it was always me, my mom, my dad, and my brother. And to me, that was sacred. Family was so sacred, because I always grew up with, my dad's side of the family, my mom's side of the family. Not saying that everything was always perfect, because it wasn't. It wasn't. I remember my mom and dad being in the military, and we traveled the world, and we did this, that, and the other. And my mom and dad was good. And then when my dad got out of the military and we came back to Alabama, where my family was from, it kind of got rough for a season in our life, because, my mom and dad, they grew up together. They were in high school. They were high school sweethearts. So sometimes in life, you grow apart from each other, or one person grows and the other person doesn't, and they don't really know how to just make it work. They don't know how to make it work. So, and my mom and dad was like just alike. But now in their season of life, they're like best friends. Both of them are married, and they all go out to eat together. It's crazy. It's crazy how season of life change, and everything just works out for the good. It works out for the good. But back then, when I was younger, I remember my mom, at one season of my life, my mom and dad, they just didn't know how. So they would just go at each other, and they would fight. My mom was like, she would fight back. I don't know, some people say domestic violence, but my mom wasn't the type of mom that she would just allow my dad to beat up. They would fight each other. So like domestic violence, that wasn't a thing then, because they were fighting each other. So at that time, it was a season in my life, my mom was like, you know what, I'm just done. I'm over it. So she just moved on, and it hurt me to my core, because I'm a daddy's girl. I really love my dad. Like, my dad is basically like the air I breathe, because I'm a daddy's girl. Don't get me wrong. I love my mother. A lot of people say I look just like her. I remember when I was younger, I did look just like her, but now I'm kind of like a mixture of them both. You can tell both of them are my parents as I get older, but I was a daddy's girl, and it hurt me to my core. So now you look at like your support system, it kind of changed, because I wasn't in the house where I grew up, where when I wake up in the morning, my mom was there. When I went to sleep at night, my dad was there, because my mom and dad worked two different shifts. So now I'm in a house where my dad's not there anymore. I'm living with my mom and my grandparents. And then it's like, okay, my mom is kind of upset, because she's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to live with my parents. So she gets married again. She gets married in less than a year. So I have a step parent at this point. And my life changed forever at that point. It changed forever. So I remember I was in elementary school. My brother was in middle school. My brother was going to middle school, and we had a step parent, and it was all good until I end up going to the county school system. So they have like this city school system and the county school system, and we moved to the county school system because we got a house built or whatever. And I thought, my stepdad, he's a pretty cool dude. A lot of people knew him where we were from and all that. He was a pretty cool dude. And I was like, we got along good. But when we moved to the county, like him and my brother really didn't get along that much. So let me go back a little bit. I'm in elementary school. My dad leaves. So I never really dealt with my dad leaving. even though I saw him at some time and he had to deal with some different things in his life, because he did do drugs at some point because he was in the war and stuff like that. And when he came home, he they didn't give him any help. So whatever he saw there, they never helped him. So he used drugs to cover it up. To this day, he will not take medicine if he's in pain because he has bad knees and he has a bad back. So he just rubs cream on himself and this, that, and other, because he went through a season in his life where he was hooked on drugs. So my stepdad and my brother didn't get along. So I didn't deal with the fact that my dad left. Well, he left because him and my mom got a divorce, and I felt that abandonment issue because I felt like my heart was broken because the man that I love, that taught me what a man was supposed to do in life, wasn't there any longer. So I said, okay. So then another person, male figure, comes along, and I'm thinking, okay, he's pretty cool. You know, I have a male figure in the house, and I still get to see my dad. So he's really not taking my dad's place. He's just substituting to help out. So then him and my brother doesn't get along, and my brother leaves at like a teenager. So I'm a teenager at this time. I'm in 7th grade. My brother's in 9th grade. My brother leaves and goes to live with my dad, and I stay with my mom and my stepdad. At this time, my mom works. She works like the same job she has now. She works like an hour and like 20 minutes from where we live. So in high school, like I said before, on paper, I look excellent. I was like Miss Carolyn said today, she's awesome because I'm an owner of a nonprofit. You know, I help at-risk teenage girls, and I work with the homeless population because that's my passion. I love people. So on paper, I was great. I I I was a cheerleader. I was a majorette, and I was a cheerleader. Okay, somebody else sent a request to join, Miss Carolyn. I was a cheerleader. I was a majorette, and I played softball. So I had fun, but when I went home, I was dying inside. I had friends. One of my friends she's on here tonight. But the sad part about it, I felt like I couldn't talk to them. That's why it's important to have a support system. The reason I felt like I couldn't talk to my friends is because I felt like they would judge me. I even had friends on my street that I lived on that it'd probably take me like a mile and a half to walk to their house, which was my cousin. My cousin Artavia. She lived on my street. Her mom still lives on my street, up the street from my mom now. So my mom worked, I told you she worked almost an hour and a half from where we live, going to work and coming back home. So every day it started as verbal abuse with my stepfather. He would just say things like, "You're not supposed to look like that. Why do you have breasts like that? Why do you have this? Why do you have that?" I didn't know because in the 6th grade, I had chest. Like, I have chest now, and I have, like, if you've ever, like, some people have never seen me, but when I was in 6th grade, I had like a B cup chest, and I always had booty because that's my dad's side of the family. So I didn't feel like it was my fault that's how God made me in his image. So I didn't know why this was happening to me. So then I just tried to like block it out of my head. And I would say, if I don't say anything to him, maybe he won't say anything to me. And everything would just go away. I was in seventh grade. Seventh grade. This happened for years. Seventh grade. So it had got to a point to where as I got older, I got punished. So he would lie to my mother and said that I did something bad. He would just make up anything to say I did something bad. So I would be on punishment. So I couldn't go to my games, whether it was a basketball game or whether it was a football game or whether it was my softball game. So I would miss games and I would have to tell my coach that I couldn't come for whatever reason. I would have to make up a lie. But in actuality, it was because he wanted me to be around more so he could harass me. And my mom didn't even know because she would say I would have to ask him because he would be the one to take me because she worked so far. My dad didn't know. My brother didn't know. My mom didn't know. And for the longest, I was so mad at them because I said, how could they not know that I was going through these things? Could they not see the pain in my eyes? Could they not see like the interaction? Like, could they not see that I was timid? Like, could they not see something that was going on? What was it that was like, I didn't understand. So, so as I got into the ninth grade, I think, ninth or 10th grade, I remember my mom, she was still in the military, and she would have to be gone for the whole weekend. And I could remember it like it was yesterday. I was cleaning up, and I was like, Lord, if you help me, I promise you just need to help me. So out of nowhere, like, he comes upstairs and I'm thinking like cause he's getting dressed and stuff, so I'm thinking he's about to go because I asked my mom previously. I said, Mom, can I just go to my grandmother's house for the weekend because I don't want to stay home by myself? And she was like, no, you're in trouble. You're on punishment. I said, but Mom, I didn't do anything. Just let me go, or can I go with you? She was like, no, you can't go with me because I have a field exercise. And I was like, Mom, just please let me go. Just please let me go. And she was like, you can't go with me and you can't go down in your grandmother's house. I was like, well, can I just go to my dad's house, please? And she was like, you never want to go there. Why do you want to go today? And I was like, Mom, just let me go. So I end up I couldn't go. So that day, as I'm cleaning up and I'm like in another space and I'm just saying, just get me through the weekend. And I'm like, just let somebody knock on my door, like just distract this whole atmosphere because I feel like hell in my own house. So he comes upstairs and he tells me to get in the sit-up position and face him and do sit-ups and take off my pants. And I said, what? Like, this this is crazy. Like, why would I do that? Like, this is crazy. And so I did it because I didn't know what he would do to me. Because previously, when he would pick me up from school when I would have practice, it's a short way to come back to my house. If you leave out of my school and take a right and go down go around by this church, you'll get to my house in 2 minutes. But if you make a left and go all the way around Howard Cove and Shaco Springs, around by the mountain, it takes you like at least 8 to 10 minutes to get to my house. So he would deliberately go the long way so he could talk nasty to me the whole time, even though he knew my mom would be at home. So he did that like a lot of the times. So um so 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 that particular day that happened, it started, somebody rang the doorbell, and when they rang the doorbell, I jumped up and ran in my room and slammed the door. And I saw that I guess it was one of his friends or something, and I was like, Lord, please just get me out of this situation. And then my cousin pulls up like 10 minutes later, and she was like, hey, I need her to go somewhere with me. And I felt like that was my way out. And I was like, God, just please help me. Just please help me. Just please, like, help me. Because I don't know, like, what I'm gonna do if you don't help me. So after that, happened, I remember I got in the 10th grade, and hold on one second. I got in the 10th grade, and I asked my mom, could I go somewhere? I think it was a dance. I think we had a dance or something. I'm not sure. I don't remember what it was. But she was like, you have to ask him, can you go? Because he's going to be the one to take you. And I was like, no, because you're going to be here. She was like, no. I said, Mom, if I have to ask him to take me, I don't want to go. So a lot of times I couldn't go to places I wanted to go. And a lot of people thought that I just couldn't do anything in high school. And I was just this girl that my mom didn't never let me do anything. And I was just this uptight girl. But it wasn't that reason. They just didn't know that I was being punished. I was dying inside because I didn't have anybody to talk to. So in 10th grade, I remember I asked to go somewhere, and he said that if I let him touch me, that I could go. And I said, huh? That doesn't make sense. And I remember, I don't know where it came from, but I said, like, you're married to my mother. Like, why are you attracted to me? This is like so gross. And I saw the look on his face, and I thought he was going to hit me. So I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Like, as a child, you should never have to do anything like that. Like, nobody should ever have to go through anything like that. Anything. Like, I don't wish this on anybody. Even back in the day if I ever not liked anybody, I wouldn't even wish that on them or their kids. So, me being stupid at the time, I said okay, and then I said no, and then I said okay. So then one morning he came in my room anyway, and I was dead asleep. I used to sleep so hard, and then after this, like, I learned, like, you never sleep hard. So I woke up to him touching me, like, literally touching me in my vagina area.
And I knew that day, like, I couldn't do that anymore. Like, I had to tell my mom. So I remember, like, writing letters. And I think my mom found them after I left. But I remember, like, writing letters and saying, like, Lord, if you help me out of this situation, I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll do whatever you want me to do. And when, so within like a week or two, I told my mom, like, I didn't care about his threats anymore. I just told my mom. And, and I remember her being so angry. And I thought that day that, like, it was gonna be a murder on our street, that she was like gonna kill him, like the the anger in her eyes, like, and then when he said something to her, like how she looked at him, like if we had a gun in our house at that day, like my mom would probably still be in prison to this day, because I really believe that she would have killed him. So she took me to my grandmother's house like within a day or so. But that day my life forever changed, and it was hard for me to trust people. And I think because of what I went through at that time, it opened the door up, I guess, for so many things. Like when I went to college, I used to do things just to like feel wanted or whatever. I felt like I had to do things. Until one day I said, like, Jasmine, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. Like, you don't have to do anything. Like, you are beautifully and wonderfully made in God's image. So you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. So when I realized who I was and whose I was, it changed my life forever. And like that's why I think some people don't realize, like, I'm so strong headed and strong minded, and like I don't settle for less, like, because I have been through so much and I have taken so much, and like I feel like God has built me up to help other people. And I think like now that I tell my story, and like it's crazy because I had never told this story before this month. Like this is the month, and it's crazy that it's the 7th month, and 7 means completion. And I'm 35, and 35 is like a new chapter. So for me to be 35 and it starts a new chapter of my life, I told God, like, even if I had to go through those things again, I would, it wouldn't bother me, because I'm doing it for this new generation to help them. Because I remember when I was in college, I got raped. And I told one of my friends, like, I would talk about that to like different girls and different people, that I got raped and I got assaulted, but I would never tell anybody what happened to me when I was a teenager. And I wondered why, because I was embarrassed, but I wasn't embarrassed when I felt like somebody raped me. But God said you gotta let it all out. You gotta let it all out, because that's the only way you're gonna heal. You're gonna totally be healed, because I felt like it was still stuff in my life that I needed to deal with to get everything that God has for me. So I say that to say this month has been freedom from all the years of the past experience that I went through. And it truly has taught me that God will deliver you from everything in His time, because I really thought that I was healed, that I had forgiven that person, and I had, but I had never really got over it. I think I had buried it so far back in my head, and I I had probably healed from some of it, but I never really healed from all of it. And even like me interacting with his daughters, I love them, but I can't love them the way that God would want me to love them, because every time I interact with them, it's like a blockage of what their father had done to me, because it's not unconditional. And God was like, until you speak about it, until you get it out, because it's somebody from your past, somebody, even probably somebody I went to school with, or somebody from my past that I probably encounter on a day to day, maybe on Facebook or something, that needs what I've been through, but I'm not speaking about it. So I just wanted to come on and tell you guys about it. And at first, um I was mad at my mom for a long time because I felt like she didn't protect me. But I tell you guys this, sometimes people don't know that they need to protect you, because the only protection you really can get is from God. So if they don't know they can't protect you, it's not their fault. She didn't know that she needed to protect me like that. She thought that she was doing all she needed to do at that time. So our relationship went through hills, and it went through hills and valleys, and it was a roller coaster for a while. But now we are like the best of everything. So I feel like that I went through that season, and she even had to learn some things, because sometimes now she comes and asks me things, and I come and ask her things, but we we feed off each other. But I still respect the fact that she's my mother, and I love her. But I did have to go through that season of, she did the best she could with what she had and what she knew how to do at that time, and it wasn't her fault. Actually, it wasn't nobody's fault. It was just something, that happened. I felt like it was something that I went through to help who God called me to, what God called me to do in my purpose, for my purpose. So that's my freedom from the past. It's been a long time coming. A long time coming. It's been, oh my God, it's been what, 12? No, oh, like 15. Oh, I'm like, what, 15, 18 years. I've been in a high school, 17 years. Oh, yeah. So it's been almost 20 years, probably like 20 years or more. So it's been a long time. It's been a real, real long time. It's been a real, real long time. So I apologize if the crying, y'all couldn't understand me, but it needed to come out. I hadn't cried like that in a long time. But if y'all have any questions, I guess I'll take questions now. I'll take questions. I haven't even been looking at y'all comments. I promise I haven't. Um, oh, thanks, Mom. Thank you guys for coming on, listening, and supporting me. Supporting me. And it's crazy because I haven't seen him in, oh my God, I haven't seen him, I think, since I left my mom's house. Well,
You know, I haven't seen him since him and my mom got a divorce in, I think it was 2000. I graduated in 2000, so I haven't seen him since before. Well, him and my mom got a divorce in 2006. So him and my mom did stay together for a while after that, but she was she went on a deployment for the military for 6 years. So she wasn't even there in the house. She was in a whole nother state living. So when she came back, she divorced him. So like after I graduated from high school, she left. And then when she came back, she got a divorce. But I really, God has really protected me because I haven't seen him. I think even before then. Oh, and let me tell y'all this. It's funny. This is funny. I laugh at this every time I think about it. I think this is what held me together. So when I got assaulted in 2003 from in college, somebody broke in my house. I lived by myself. And I had been like on a deployment for like 2 weeks. Like I had been working. Like I'm gonna tell you this one. I, this girl right here, I didn't did some things. So I was working full time, going to school full time, and you know I'm in the military. So I had worked all week. I had went on my military duty, and I worked another week, full week. So I hadn't had a day off in like 16 days. And so I come home. I I remember it like it was yesterday. It was July 23rd, 2003. Um, and I went to KFC up the street from my house because I went to the University of Alabama, Birmingham. I went and got some popcorn shrimp. And I was so tired, I just laid across my bed, got up under the covers, and the shrimp was still there. The person broke in my house and beat me, the mess out of me, and I got assaulted, I got raped. Well, my mom comes to my house, and like after the person leaves out of my house, they stole my car keys, my purse, and everything, but they didn't see my phone. My phone was on my nightstand. So they beat me so bad I couldn't see. I was like blinded. I was blinded. Like when I opened my eyes, it was just cloudy. I thought I was going to be blind. So I reached to kind of like on my nightstand because I remember was that. So I just pressed. This is how good God is and how He protects us. I hadn't called my cousin in days, and I'm gonna answer your question, sis. I hadn't called my cousin in days, and I pressed send, and the phone went straight to her. It called her. She wasn't the last person I called at all because I couldn't see to call 911. So she answered the phone, like the phone didn't even ring. She just picked up the phone, and then she she called 911 back, and they came to my house. So after all that happened, and my mom and dad come, and we go to the hospital and all this, and I had to go to my mom's house for like a month, but school was out, so I had to go to my mom's house for a month. I remember walking in my mom's house, the same man, and he looked me dead in my face, and he said, "We're going to find out who did this, and we're going to get justice." And I looked at him and I said, "Do you dare say that?" And my mom was like, and after that day, I just went to my grandmother's house because I'm like, after all you did to me, after all you put me through, you want justice for that person, but you don't acknowledge what you did to me for years, for 3 years, physically and emotionally. How about that? So sis asked me, do you still talk to your stepdad today? And if so, how's your relationship with him? So that was the last time I ever seen him or spoke to him. I haven't. Like, I don't even know where he lives. Like, when he moved, um, I hear some people say that they've seen him, but I don't have his contact number. I've never seen him. I just pray for him, and God gave me peace to forgive him. And like, if I never see him, I have forgiveness for the whole situation, and I'm okay with that. Now, my brother hasn't. My brother's seen him, and my brother wanted to like beat the brakes off him. That's a whole nother story. But I just told my brother, like, he has to have peace with it because I do. And whatever it is, God is gonna handle all of it. So yeah, I just have peace with it. And I'm okay with, if I never see him, if I never talk to him, and even if I do see him, I'm okay with it. I'll say to him, everything that you did to me, I forgive you, you know, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that. You never have to apologize for being healed. I'm so blessed to be a part of your healing process. I'm always here for you. Thank you, Mom. Yes, thank you for sharing and walking in your truth, sis. You. Oh, thank you, sis. Oh, sis, you're so funny, girl. What you say, Mom? Carolyn, you told me that when he is the one who opened the door to that spirit. Yes, I felt like that was the person that opened the door to. I feel like once the door is open, then you have to recognize it and close it, because if you don't, the door always remain open until you say, you know what, Satan, I rebuke you. This is not who I am. This is not who I'm going to be. And I claim my life back. And that's what I had to do. I claim my life back. And you're not going to take control over my life anymore. So that's what I had to do. That's what I had to do. And I think I really recognized that when I started speaking about it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. And it's crazy because I was reading because I realized that it's a shift in my life. It's crazy that you said that, Mama Carolyn, because it's a shift happening in my life. And somebody, one of my friends, was talking to me, and he's a pastor too. And when he was talking to me, I heard God. I've been hearing God say for the last 6 months or more, like this whole year and even the end of last year, that it was a shift going on in my life. And even the people that he's put in my life, my accountability partners, my sisters, my sisterhood with the love conference and all that, that the shift that was taking place, in that it might be some haters, but that's okay. But even he was showing that the open door, and that he would close doors that no man could shut, and open you know he would basically open doors that no man could shut, and he would shut doors that no man could open. And one of my friends said that um, scripture to me, the other day that I was sharing with Latoya, and it was Revelations 3, 7, and 8. So for you to even say that today, that only God can shut that door, it was confirmation that he told me, my friend told me, and then for you to say it, confirmation always come in three for me, that he's shutting that door. Oh, amen. I receive it. So I claim, yeah, that's right, Latoya. I mean, Labria, I claim my life back, sis. Oh, thank you, Miss Sharon. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you, love. Oh, yeah, that's right, Toy. It don't matter. They getting younger and younger. And I'm telling you, I used to speak to them every day as a social worker. They don't care. They like 3, 4, 5. And you ain't lying. They get younger and younger. That is true. It happened a lot in the church. Yes, yes. Amen. Amen. Does anybody else have any questions, comments? It's been real tonight. It's been so real. But I do know that while I'm waiting on questions, God is not finished with me yet. I do know that, and that this shift that He's doing in my life is necessary for me and for the people that He's calling me to help, and that He's calling me to work with in my family, my support system, um, that He's calling me to love on. Oh, definitely. Shauna, He'll definitely do it for you. Only thing you have to do is seek Him. When you seek Him, you'll find Him. He'll definitely be there for you. Only thing you gotta do is ask Him. Cause girl, I'm telling you, I done been on my knees plenty of nights. I on my knees, on my face, just laid out. I wake up, I come back to, I don't know how long I've been there. And don't be afraid to go in His presence. You know, for you, for your sons, for everybody. You know, we not perfect. We imperfectly perfect in Him, if that makes sense, because He's perfect. We're perfect because He's perfect, and because He made us, that's what makes us perfect, if that makes sense. Because I hear a lot of people say, oh, we're not perfect, so we can that gives them an excuse to keep doing stuff, that they've been doing and continue to do wrong. No, but because God says that we are made perfect in His image, therefore we're perfect. So we have to act according, we have to do things according to His will. And I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, something. I want to tell y'all something. I want y'all to get out of the notion and retrain your mind, renew your mind, transform your mind, that God is not boring. He is not this old hag or this old man or any of that. Like, don't think that because we grew up in the Baptist church or whatever, and you can't do this and you can't do that. Like, that's religion stuff. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself, because He had to deal with me in these last couple months and say, I made you. I know what you like. Like, if you want to go to a midnight movie, it's okay. If you want to go, hang out, or, go to the, go ride go-karts and do that, it's not a sin in there, because the church make you think, okay, if you're going out to a midnight movies, your grandma say, if you go out after 10 o'clock, ain't then open, but liquor store and lit. That's a lie. Like, come on now. Like, don't make everything out to be so, like, churchy and religious, you know? So I mean, we just have to know and consult, just consult God in everything. You know, he convicts me. When if God convicts you about something, then you know it's not right. Well, Labria said, what are a few things that God has given you to help you get through your healing on a day-to-day basis? Um, what helps me is I spend time with him first thing. Like it's non-negotiable. First thing. Before I even roll out the bed, before I even step foot, like even if I'm just sitting there meditating, like I give him my first. And it ain't gotta be this long, elaborate, like, oh, thy heavenly, thy art. No, I just give him my first. I acknowledge him. I acknowledge his presence in my life. I command my day. Um, I just speak to him. And sometimes I'm just quiet and let him speak to me. Like I acknowledge him. Sometimes I do devotionals. Sometimes I play my music, but I always acknowledge him. That helps me. You know, I read different things. I have a lot of different not really rituals, but a lot of different things I do. But a lot I meditate because I want him to always know that I come before him with grace and honor, and I know that he's always first in my life. And I mean, you don't have to spend an hour, you don't have to spend 30 minutes, but you need to at least give him that first fruit. That first fruit. And that's important. Before you get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, before you call out to anybody else, you need to give it to him. Give it to him. Give it to him. That's right, Miss Sharon. Yes, Miss Sharon, he has. He's given me peace. He's given me peace. I will tell you, I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, like when I first, at first, it's not gonna be easy because you be frustrated. You be like, and you ask the questions, why me? Why not you? Why not you? Jesus died on the cross for us. Why not you? So when I looked at it like that, I was like, okay. So when I found peace, when you have peace about things, a lot of things don't bother you. A, a lot of things don't bother you. So I look at it as, why not me? God, show me what I need to know. Show me what I need to get out of this. So I won't have to learn this lesson 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times. So when you get peace about it, you know, like, okay. So, and two, what we have to understand is the healing part, the forgiveness part is not about them. It's not about even what they did to you. It's about you, because when you don't let any of that stuff go and you let it harbor, it turns into everything else. It turns into cancer. It turns into diabetes. It turns into high blood pressure. It turns into all those things, and it fluster into everything else. And guess what? It consumes you. It consumes every part of you. And guess what? I don't want that to happen to me, because I love me. I love the healthy Jasmine. I love the healthy Jasmine. I love to be able to go and do. And when we about to go on this cruise next year, this is a shameless plug, but when we about to go on this cruise from July the 5th through the 9th, I want to have me some fun. I want to go out to the Bahamas in my little bathing suit, and we want to do what we want to do. We want to speak and have fun, and then we want to do what we want to do. So I want to have fun. I don't want to be worried about, oh, my blood pressure high, I'm sick, I don't feel good, I got heart palpitations. And why? Because you stressed. You worried about what he did to you, what she said about you, what mama did to you 10 years ago, what daddy did to such and such 10 years ago. And guess what? Mama, daddy, sister, cousin, auntie ain't worried about none of y'all. They having fun. They having fun. So guess what? You have fun too. But I want you guys to know that I love you so much, and thank you for spending your Thursday night with me and allowing me to share my story, because it was even liberating to me, to just get it out there, to just tell it in depth, some things that I've never, I've said in my head, and I thought about them to want to come out of my mouth, but they've never really just came out. So I love you guys. I pray that you have a great night. You sleep better than you ever slept before. Anything that may think that it want to come against your body or trying to form against you, I rebuke it right now in the name of Jesus. And I claim victory over every part of your body, your mind, your soul, your heart, your households, your families, your friends, everything that is connected to you. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. I love you guys. Bye-bye.